I think it's time for us to do something. And
What?
I think it's on a 1, 2, 3 time to Biden it up. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there's Biden on the
he's being
lifeguard.
the
There we go.
lifeguard.
Biden.
Oh, there's him animated.
Oh,
more animation.
Here we go.
Okay, he's morphing. Weird.
I love the fact that we have graphics now. And I want to thank you guys, our viewers and subscribers, for helping us out. Please consider being a Patreon supporter. Because of you guys, we're able to do all this. So let's get things started with Biden. We're going to bind it up. Bind it up. So the Democrats are pursuing an impeachment. This is an article from The Intercept, and I urge all of you to read this article. I'm just going to read some short excerpts from it.
You got it.
There we go. I got it. We're live. The Hard Lens Media Show on
How
Wednesday.
now, brown cow?
The F stands for fun. The F stands for fun on Hard Lens Media, specifically on Wednesday. You would think it'd be on Friday, but no, it's on Wednesday.
No.
So Democrats are pursuing impeachment of President Donald Trump for pursuing foreign countries to investigate Joe and Hunter Biden. They are left making an argument that is at once true and electorally and ethically compromising. What Trump did and continues to do was an impeachable abuse of power, and it should be considered separately from the question of what Hunter Biden did. The problem for Democrats is that a review of Hunter Biden's career shows clearly that he, along with Joe Biden's brother James, has been trading on their family name for decades, cashing in on the implication and sometimes the explicit argument that giving money to a member of Joe Biden's family wins the favor of, you guessed it, everyone's favorite uncle, Joe Biden. So there we go. I like how we went to the wide
That was
shot.
a good frame, though, the way that you framed that.
I know. That's awesome.
Oh, look at him. Oh, she looks so comfortable.
Oh, boy. Hey, everyone. That was Obama's VP. Remember that? So Republicans, though, have no such qualms and have made it clear that smearing the Bidens as corrupt will be central to Trump's re-election campaign. And that's a problem if he gets the nomination. The Trump approach is utterly without shame or irony, with attacks even come from the fail son, Eric Trump. So as far as the impeachment inquiry is concerned, that's an important point. There was no illegal behavior for Trump to hang his desired corruption investigation into Joe Biden on. His entire goal was to use the power of the American empire to pursue a client state into ginning up bad press for his Democratic rival. Nobody seriously believes that Trump has any serious commitment to eradicating corruption in Ukraine. I mean, come on, this is Trump we're talking about here, okay? Or any genuine opposition to nepotism. Indeed, Biden has been taking political hits over the intersection of his family's financial dealings and his own political career for about 4 decades. You know, when I compare it to another politician who's running, Bernie Sanders, who's been in politics for 40 plus years, I never once hear anything about nepotism or corruption or anything else. I see him on the right side of issues. You know, I wish that the media would acknowledge that, but I guess not. So yet he has done nothing publicly to basically clear himself of the charge that his career is corruptly enriching his family, and now this is a serious liability for Joe Biden. By that contrast, one of his opponents in the presidential primary, Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont,
From the great state of Vermont.
went so far as to refuse to endorse his own son. This is very interesting. Senator Bernie Sanders went so far to refuse to endorse his own son, Levi Sanders, who, again, we send our condolences. We're very sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
When he ran for Congress, saying that he does not believe in political dynasties. In defending the Biden's nepotism relationship, Democrats would be forced to argue to be fair, such soft corruption is common among the families of senior-level politicians, something we all know all too well here in the state of Illinois and in the city of Chicago. So going even further, in 2006, Beau Biden, who died of cancer in 2015, was roped into an investment meeting led by James and Hunter Biden at the firm Pardigam Global Advisors. The family was considering acquiring the firm, and James Biden told executives there he'd have no problem bringing in people looking for an in with Joe Biden, who was a U.S. Senator at the time. We've got people all around the world who want to invest in Joe Biden. Ugh, that invites disaster. James Biden told the officials of the firm, according to Political magazine investigation, Beau Biden's turned red in the face, telling his uncle, "This can never leave this room, and if you ever say it again, I'll have nothing to do with this." Hunter and James Biden denied the account to Political, but the magazine stood by it, citing multiple sources with similar recollections. We've got investors lined up in a line of 747s filled with cash ready to invest in this company. Oh,
Wow.
If this doesn't invite more. I mean, again, the article goes further into detail about the history of Biden, his family's history of career, basically, working for corporations, big banks, multinational corporations. And this has to deal with when even way before former Vice President Joe Biden ever, became Obama's VP. This has to deal with time when he was in the Senate.
And so much of it is so gross. Some of the language is really what the language you'd expect out of like movies, it's what you imagine in like the smoky rooms, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, a lot of people are investing in Joe Biden these days, and it's like weird speak, but
Yep.
it's exactly what you'd want to catch on a wiretap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's really it reads shady just off of the page, which is incredible.
There's one other thing too I want to read because I could be on this article all day, but we are on a time limit.
It's a really good article.
It is. So it's in the show notes, so that way you can get the links to all the articles that we're covering, and also find us on Patreon too. So there we go. But please make sure you're subscribed. So here's something I want everyone to remember with, and then I want to open up the floor to you, Kira, and everyone else. Now Democratic voters are faced with the same quandary. They can see the corruption in front of their eyes, and they have to decide whether that's the argument they want to have with Trump in 2020, or whether they want to nominate someone else who will allow the party to make the corruption argument cleanly. So, again, this is why this 2020 presidential election cycle is going to be important. Biden has a history of corruption, similar to Hillary Clinton, similar to Obama, similar to Bill Clinton, similar to Nancy Pelosi. And is this the kind of candidate that the Democratic establishment wants to bet on, that corporate media wants to bet on to take on President Donald Trump? If Biden's the nominee, it will be a disaster.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Agreed.
It could be, here, I'll be generous. It's 50-50 in the air. But remember, we don't live in a country with the popular vote. We have a thing called the Electoral College. And whoever commands the Electoral College automatically wins. Talk to your friends, your family, your neighbors, your coworkers, everyone to get involved in this 2020 election cycle. Know the rules in your said primary state. I believe personally that Senator Bernie Sanders is the candidate that can effectively bring in change. Someone like Joe Biden, after reading this article in The Intercept, is a huge risk and a danger. Kira, I want to hand it over to you.
Yeah, there are very few things that I tend to be really absolute on when it comes to sharing my opinion on things. And one of the things I feel very absolute on is that Joe Biden is the worst candidate we could possibly put up. Not only is he an establishment candidate, which we voted out. The last establishment candidate lost against the least liked politician ever, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, maybe Hillary was less liked. I don't actually know the exact polling on that. I know that she's extremely disliked as well. So not only is he an establishment candidate, and establishment is out, gone, he also has decades of corruption, or what looks like corruption. It might be legal, mm-hmm. but it certainly looks corrupt to me, and, his defense might be something like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything corrupt. I helped out my family. Or he doesn't remember, But it's just like anything else. It's just like me saying, hey, buddy, hey, sister, hey, whomever, I'll help you get a job with so-and-so because they know me and we're in good. So, in normal life, that's not necessarily a bad or a wrong thing to do. Yeah. But in public life, especially when so many people's lives are on the line and your choices actually directly impact millions of people, like that sort of nepotism is not okay and not acceptable. Yeah. And he should know better.
Yep. And Biden as the nominee is a disaster. And that's why we want to cover it in this article, because you just can't afford to have someone like Joe Biden to carry the banner. It will be the end of everything.